Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Spill It. My name is Marcus. I am your host for the evening because you get no other host. You just have me. So, I am Marcus. I have been doing Spill It since, Since when? July? June? Sometime a few months ago. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are on episode 15. Wow. Episode 15. It has been 15 long episodes to get us to this point. Crazy. So, as I say, everybody, welcome to Spill It. This is my show where I get to talk to people from all different walks of life who want to come on the show to talk about things that they are passionate about. It could be a hobby, an interest, a favorite film, a TV show, whatever it is. It is their time to get them in the spotlight to talk about whatever they want to talk about. However, I do have 3 different pillars, and those pillars are what every episode should follow. And those 3 pillars are to connect, inspire, and learn. So every single episode and the whole premise about Spill It is about connecting people, inspiring each other, and learning as well. And I'm really hoping that you guys take a lot from this episode. Wow. Cannot wait. Michael Whiteford is straight in at the comments saying sexy. Yeah. Thank you very much, Whiteford. Absolutely love you. Thanks for joining. Guys, if you are watching, all you have to do is drop a comment and I can pop it up on the screen like I have just done with Whiteford's. So I can pop it on the screen. We can talk about it. It's great. It's crazy. I absolutely love it. So, well, that happened. My lighting went. Let me just quickly sort out my lighting. There we go. Like magic, it's sorted. There we go. Scott has jumped on. Yeah, boy, Mr. Whiteford. There you go. So you go there having a bit of a conversation in the comments already. So there you go. Guys, it's a friendly space. You go and enjoy yourselves in that comment section. The more comments, the better. Keep that chat going. I absolutely love it. So here, guys, just because I like to spread a little positive news section. No, that's a past thing. We don't do the positive news section anymore. But I do. I said do. What we do is that we talk about meet your lover. Meet your lover. Huh? Meet your lover. Is this a show where we get to meet our lovers? I don't really know. But there you go. Lee says, meet your lover. Stephen, evening, Marcus. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for joining. Right. So, as I said, this is a show where I get to be spread a little positive joy, let's say. So, I want to have a moment of your time to talk about a big announcement that I made the decision of today. Decisions. So yes, I made a very, very big decision today, and it's something that affects my life with Spill It and everything else. Yeah. So I have decided. There's only one other person that knows this, by the way, guys, and he's watching and he's writing in the comment section at the minute. But I have decided that I'm going to officially write a self-help book. That's right. So I will be writing my own self-help book. I'll be writing it and sending it off to publishers to hopefully get it published. And then hopefully, this will be in a store near you. Who knows? It could be in Waterstones. You could go over to Waterstones and go, I would like that book by that famous author, Marcus. And then you'll get my book and you'll help yourself. You will self-help with helping yourself through self-help. That's the incorrect word, isn't it? Self-help. So yeah, so that is my big announcement. I'm going to be writing a book. So I've had this idea for a while. It is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, to be fair. And I have now got the tools to now write my own self-help book. So it'll be talking about my past experiences, my history, like things that make me tick, things that I have gone through in my life, my experiences, all of that lot. And so it'll be sharing quite deep stories with you all, but then also looking at ways that this can help others. Now, for those who do know me, I am the type of person that I will go out of my way to absolutely help anybody that's in need. I am very well established within like mental health education and things like that. So I will be looking at utilizing all of that and training and teaching and all of that to write this self-help book. It's going to be absolutely epic. Whiteford, will pre-orders be handled better than Sony? Sign me up. Yes, you will be able to pre-order my book. Let's get it published first, though, right? So I'm going to set myself a task, and I'm going to start writing the book from tomorrow. So from the 1st of October, I'll be starting to write this book, and the book I want to at least have some form of backbone and first draft or whatnot by the end of October. And so by the end of October, this my self-help book should be pretty much there or thereabouts. And then it should be at a point where I'll be able to send it off to a couple of other people, get them to have a look at it, get them to review it, and then get it to a point where I can send it off to a publisher and hopefully get that published. And then I will be a published author. And then I will like not only be on running a Facebook talk show, I'll also be doing Facebook Lives for my dancing. I'll be running a dance exercise business. I'll be also an author. And hopefully by then famous on TikTok, but who knows? But there you go. So that's all what's coming. And I can't wait to share more and more with you. Guys, thank you so much for your support. And obviously, if it wasn't for you guys that are watching now and listening and always like giving me that support, I would not have the confidence really to go ahead and do something like this. So I wanted to say thank you to you guys. Moving on though, get those comments and questions in. This is going to be an absolutely amazing episode. This is episode 15, Stripped. And it's going to be an episode about body image, body confidence, right and wrong things to say to people, all of that lot, the whole inner saboteur that, I love that inner saboteur. I don't love the inner saboteur, but I love talking about that inner saboteur, the person that tells you that you are not good enough, or this person that that lives within inside you, who has all of these negative thoughts and feelings towards you and your body and the way you look. And we are going to address all of that today on today's show. Scott says, hey, what about Eileen? Later, Scott, later. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, to support me with this episode 15 Stripped, we have Rhys. Rhys is joining us at 7:15 p.m. So make sure that you stay tuned. For now, guys, this is my little section. I get 15 minutes of your time, and then Rhys gets a whole 45 minutes. So let me just have these last 6 minutes with you before we bring Rhys out. So when you come in this, make sure that you hit that share button. Make sure you get this far and wide. This is a positive platform where we talk about positive things and we connect to the world, we inspire and we learn. So what we want to do is that we want to get as many people as we can do. We want to do that connect section, connecting people. So let's share this. So when you get in this, share it to your wall and let's get more people into the fold. But for now, guys, it's weather time, ladies and gentlemen.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot. How you feeling? Feeling hot, hot, hot.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's weather time. So this is where you get to tell me where you are watching from and what the weather is like where you are. Now, I know that it's 7:10, guys, and the sun has gone down. Has it gone down or is it going down? I mean, I can't really tell that anymore because let's be honest, it's a little bit shit. The weather's a little bit shit. So you either got sunshine or it's a little bit shit. I'm going to go and be completely honest with you guys. It's a lot shit in Preston. It's a lot shit. It is very, very bad. We have rain. We have overcast. It is horrible. It is grim. It is dark. I am not a fan. So what we are going to do is I want to hear from you guys. So all you have to do is drop me a comment and let me know exactly where you're watching from and let me know what the weather is like. Simple, okay? So all you have to do, drop that comment. I want to know. I want to know if you're busy. That's a song, isn't it? I want to know if you're busy. I want to know if you can be some. Drop a comment. I want to know what that song is, guys. I wanna know if you're busy. Oh my God, what is that song? Guys, if you know, drop a comment. I need to know what that song is. Drop a comment, please. Please, 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 please. Stephen Wilson, it's raining here in Leyland. Leyland is just on the outskirts of Preston. So I know Leyland. Yeah, I'm cooking tortillas in Swansea. I'm cooking tortillas. Is it hot? Is that sweet? Swansea is the most bottom part of Wales, right? Aha, I'm getting good at this geography, guys. I'm getting good at it. Shit in Leyland. Yes, it is shit. It is part of Preston, and Preston's a little bit shit. So therefore, it's a little bit shit. Gurmeet is watching in Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes, I want to say that's near London, right? Isn't it? I'm sure Milton Keynes is near London. I'm sure Gurmeet will correct me. But I'm sure that Milton Keynes is near London. There you go. We have great and boring in Swansea. There we go. And Whiteford says it's overcast and dry in Glasgow. So it's a little bit shit, Whiteford. It's a little bit shit. It sounds like a Bing search is needed on that song. Lee Jenkins saying great and cold in Lancaster. And Rhys, who is watching from backstage, raining in Lancaster. Haha, 30 minutes on the train or an hour's drive. What, to London? Where's Milton Keynes then? I thought that was really near London. I'm sure that Rhys knows, and Rhys is backstage patiently waiting. So I'm sure he will come on and go, actually, Marcus, Milton Keynes is blah, 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 blah. And he'll tell me where Milton Keynes is. And if he doesn't know, he'll definitely be Googling right now. So there you go. I'm sure very, very soon I will find out where Milton Keynes is. Right. Very, very quickly, moving on. As you know, guys, I am a brand ambassador for a company who sells merchandise online, t-shirts, pin badges, bags, things like that. And all of the proceedings or not all the proceedings, but a percentage of the proceedings of the sales that are made by these t-shirts and things like that go to the LGBTQ plus community. I think it's an absolutely amazing idea. The t-shirts are absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to receive mine. They have sent my free stuff in the post. I am waiting for it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It is at www.thatsoundsgay.com. It is spelled THT, soundsgay.com. And on that, all you have to do is you select what you want with regards to the t-shirts and things like that. So you can get t-shirts like this. Woke up gay again. And you can get one of my favorites. Sounds gay. I'm in. That's definitely something that I would say. That definitely sounds gay. I'm in. So you can get those types of t-shirts and pin badges and merchandise like that. And all you have to do is go to www.thatsoundsgay.com. And when you have completed your basket, use the promo code M4RCUSLEE. That's Marcus Lee. And instead of the A, it's number 4. And you will get 30% off your basket. How awesome is that, right? So yes, all you have to do is go to www.thatsoundsgay.com, choose what you would like, and put M4RCUSLEE for 30% off. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Right, just before we bring Rhys onto the show, I have got my new section starting next month. So this will go out from tomorrow, actually. So this will go out from tomorrow, and it will be a post about being an agony funkle. Agony funkle, agony funkle. That will probably be my theme song for it. I don't know. But agony funkle is a new, fun, light-hearted situation. I was about to say that's the wrong word. It is a nice, light-hearted section of Spill It, where I get to help you out with your problems. So say, for instance, you might want to message me with one of your problems on that post or on that thread, and I will help you out the best I can, do like an agony uncle or agony aunt, yeah, like an agony aunt. However, I will do it in the most fun and unique way. So that's why it's called Agony Funkle. But it can be a made-up scenario. So say, for instance, you wanted to just say that you have your grandma who is in love with your best friend, and they are planning to run away together to Gretna Green and go and get married. Let me know, put that in the post, and I will do my best to answer the Agony Funkle question of the week. How do I do this, Marcus? Well, let me tell you. And there you go. So wait for that post to come out tomorrow. and you may appear on the show where I get to give you your response live on air. The plus is for those that support. It is, Scott. It is. Well done. Well done. Good education, that. I wonder who taught you that, Scott. Stephen Wilson saw Erasure live at Milton Keynes Ball in the early 80s. Oh, nice. And Nicole Thompson says it's raining in Blackpool. Ooh, raining in, so it's a little bit shit in Blackpool then. I know where Blackpool is because that's where Blackpool Tower is, and you win 50p if you can see it before anybody else. And Rhys won't tell me where Milton Keynes is because he got a U in geography. There you go. Well, speaking of Rhys, guys, this is going to be an absolutely amazing episode. Please, 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 please ask your questions. Leave comments. Do it because we get to discuss it. Get involved. It's going to be super important, this one. I cannot wait for it. So, please give a massive round of applause, plenty of woos, loads of celebration emojis, loads of firework emojis, loads of clapping emojis, all of those. Give me all of those comments and put them for Rhys because we now welcome Rhys to the show. Hi, Rhys.
Hi.
Hi, you okay?
A little bit nervous, but we'll get through it.
You'll be absolutely fab. No need to be nervous, Rhys. No need to be nervous. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. What have you been up to?
Actually, I've had a couple of days off. Was suspected with COVID, so they gave me more days off.
Quick, guys, hide. He's had COVID. It'll come through your computer screen.
I'm negative, so that's all fine.
Oh, cool. He was negative. That's fine. So yeah. Well, are you ready for a bit of a grilling today?
Yeah, bring it.
Okay, cool. So I will ask you one question. It's the one question that's on everybody's lips. Ready? Who is Rhys?
Ooh. So yeah, as you probably can tell, as Marcus said, my name's Rhys. So biggest thing is I've just recently qualified as a nurse. That was very, very, very stressful time. But yeah, I love the job and I love what I do. But Rhys, as a person, is actually very shy, as a lot of people will like tell me constantly who like, why don't you say anything or why don't you talk much? But I'm just like a naturally shy person. And I think my past has made me like that, especially like this will link in like the body image and like comments and things like that, and my inner saboteur. Yeah,
that damn inner saboteur. It's the thing is that there's an actual thing about the inner saboteur, and it's called imposter syndrome. So the inner saboteur exists, and it has a name. People call it it's called imposter syndrome, and that imposter syndrome is that inner saboteur that's inside all of us that tells us that we are not good enough and brings out the negativity to our minds, and it makes us feel some type of way about us and the way that we look and the way that we feel and that we aren't deserving and all of that lot. And obviously from your experience, you've got a lot of that experience with the inner saboteur.
Yeah, plenty of experience from like different avenues as well. So like, thanks. So in terms of like, yeah, you've got the body image, but then like you've got things that have happened, like life events and things like that. So like something like this, like publicly speaking about it, is a massive deal for me. Thanks, typhoons.
Typhoons.
Very good club. They help you bring out your confidence, and so you got to mention them. So yeah.
So talk about the experience, if you want to. Obviously, you don't need to divulge everything, but talk about those types of experiences that made you feel something towards the way that you look, feel, etc.
Okay, so for literally when people say, "Oh, as far as I can remember," generally, as far as I can remember, I've always had a problem with my image, my body image. So, like, for example, people might think, oh, like a silly thing, but like these silly things. So, say like friends invited me to a swimming bath or like sandcastle in Blackpool. I turn it down because I just wouldn't take my top off. It's hindered like relationships. It's hindered a lot actually. So like I came out when I was 17 as gay. I find the gay world a lot more body image focused. So like I always felt uncomfortable on that side of things. In my second year of nursing, I went on a diet where I just ate one meal a day, and sometimes even no meals, to be fair. And the more I lost weight, the more good comments I got from people, which made me do even more. And I went to like the extreme of maybe not even eating or making myself sick. So like I experienced bulimia, which no one knows about or very few people know about. And that was in my second year of nursing. That experience happened. And then I went through another life tragedy, and then it went to complete opposite, and I ate loads and I put more weight on, and then certain comments that people would make, it hit me down inside, and I could never look at myself in the mirror. Every selfie that I took would be like heavily filtered. So the term catfish, I was generally a catfish because I just filtered everything. It's horrible body image, and everything that's associated with body image. When people generally say, "Oh, I like personality more than looks," are lying, because let's face it, you need to be physically attracted to someone before you get to know someone. Although actually my current partner, he's like totally opposite. So like on the switch side of things, I went to York about 3 weeks ago, and that was the first time in years I felt confident enough by him to take my top off and join like a hot tub, and I generally enjoyed myself. I felt really, really confident and comfortable to do it. And I do have a really, really good circle of friends as well, like Lee, Gina, Gemma, Paige. They give me a lot of confidence, and they like Gina, Paige, and Gemma. They supported me through uni during my second year, and they noticed something was wrong because they saw I was just eating one meal. I'd be skipping lunch, I'd be skipping breakfast, and they were like concerned at times. What else?
So, no, sorry. So let's go back slightly to the experiences that you had when, obviously, or the thoughts and the feelings that you had when the very first time that you started noticing that you felt a certain type of way. So say, for instance, what was going through your head, for instance, when you went to Blackpool Sandcastle or went to a situation where you had to undress or take your top off or something like that? What was going through your head?
So when you see like films where a person's staring at the mirror and this reflection is saying all these mean things back, saying, "Oh, you're ugly, you're too fat, look at your hips, look at your man boobs," things like that. And then over time, because I've gone from one extreme to the other, I developed stretch marks, and some of them are really prominent, and that's always a reminder. And just staring at it in the mirror, it's horrible. It feels like another person's talking back at you, saying all the negative things you can think of. And then when you've got people outside of that reiterating these negative things, like for example, I was working and one person said, "Oh, your uniform looks really tight fitting," and then brought up extra large uniforms. Now to that destroyed me as a person. They might not know that because, to be fair, I don't give off many emotions. I could literally just sit like this and not smile, not be sad or anything. Just a very straight-faced person. But inside, that absolutely destroyed me. And then that's what kicked off this health thing that I'm on now. But this is... Go on, sorry.
Carry on. So I was going to say that I think that... I mean, I've gone through situations where I have felt very, very similar. I do not, and because I still look at the mirror and I still think to myself, you're not where you should be. You need to be you need to look better, and you do kind of beat yourself up about it. But like years and years ago, I went through something very, very similar. I was, I wasn't even overweight. I wasn't unhealthy, and I still wanted that perfect image, if you will. And I thought that I could always look better. So, I mean, I wish that I looked like the way that I looked like when I was thinking that I was fat. Like, if I could look like that again, perfect. But I went through a period, like yourself, for instance, where, you hated yourself and you wanted to do certain things unhealthily to kind of get you through that. And obviously hating the way that you look and all that lot. So I completely understand where you're coming from when you're talking about it. Talking about those, like obviously that inner voice, if you will. Have you, or how do you manage to control that? How do you control that person?
Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. So a lot of it goes down to my personal trainer. So he's actually very good. So since I've been with him, I've eaten the most I've ever eaten as far as I can remember, and yet I am still happy. I'm still losing weight, and I'm still I've got a lot more confidence. In terms of controlling my inner saboteur, so say like I've got to do like 4 weekly image pictures, which was very hard for me to do at first. But then I got the confidence to do it and then do it again. And I'd say to him, I can't see the difference. And then he'd point to me out, well, this is different, that's different, that's different. And it builds you up. So, but on the opposite side of that, as much as you've been built up, it'll only take one comment to hit that down, or it'll take a selfie where, oh, well, actually, I don't look very good in that. That'll build you down. Or say like a simple trying on the top, oh, well, that don't fit in the right places. That will knock me down. So I think it's a lot of willpower and determination to combat all that, because I think there's a lot of negatives than positives in terms of like body image. So it's a lot easier to accept the negative comments, and it's a lot harder to build yourself or accept other people's opinions and views, and who are trying to help you do that.
Two of the things that I really want to talk about is they are the LGBTQ plus community and the way that they look at body image and things like that. And second thing is talk about the experience of going through eating disorders and things like that. So before we do that, before we drill into those details, a lot of comments have come through, and I do want to go through them. So if you're happy to go through these quick comments here. So we've got Magda: Rhys is one honest, brave, and ever transforming fab human being.
I love you,
Dino. Dino, there you go. Dino's put some sad faces. Obviously, listen to your story. Scott: Freddie Flintoff recently done his documentary on it, and it's super sad with regarding to Freddie Flintoff's eating disorders and things like that as well.
Sorry,
there you
Marcus.
go, Steve.
I like actually point out that my family didn't know about this. So as much as I like to ring my mum, I don't as much as I probably should do. But I don't tend to tell family of my problems. So this would be the first time they've heard all that around like the bulimia and things like that.
Do you feel comfortable talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, so don't
No,
talk about
it's all right.
something if you're uncomfortable.
If it helps them,
So it's exactly that, and you know that's the whole three pillars: connecting, inspiring, and learning. So people are going to learn a lot from this episode, and they're also going to be inspired. So they, you know, I want to kind of talk about as much as we can do, so people can spot the signs as well. So obviously, you talk as much as you feel comfortable talking about it, and if you want me to take over, I've got a mouth, I can use it, so it's fine. I'll take over. So yeah, I want you to feel 100% confident and comfortable. Okay. So Nathan, massive respect to you, Rhys. Great that you're sharing, as there are many of us out there with problems with their body image inspiration. There you go. So straight off the bat, from what we've just literally just been talking about, the message from today is going to really help a lot of people out there as well. Stephen Wilson, love your honesty, Rhys. Rhys is one honest, brave, and there you go with that comment that came through again, Magda. So Scott raises a really good point here. So the media portrayal doesn't help. I always feel self-conscious when my wife watches Love Island, etc. Instagram has ruined it all for people. And let's actually expand on that comment for a minute, because I genuinely believe this as well. I think that the media has portrayed people, male and female, to be a certain type. So you know, there was always, and people have it in their heads when it comes to body image and body confidence and body issues, that it's only the women that feel like this. The women feel like they have to be the ideal, if you will. But more and more, we're finding that actually there are a lot of men out there, a lot of males, who still feel like that, because they are compared to people like Love Island and The Only Way is Essex and Made in Chelsea and all of that lot. So what is your...
Like, you've got to have like the 6-pack abs, the tan, the muscles, the very toned look.
It was I think it was either last year's or the year before. I don't watch it, but Love Island introduced their first plus size woman, and she wasn't plus sized at all. And it's just that type of mentality where it is completely and utterly ridiculous, but it makes people feel the way that they feel, and obviously you naturally compare yourself to other people. So what would be your advice, or what would be your thought process, or what would you like to get out to people who compare themselves to people on Instagram, social media influencers, or even like Love Island, reality TV shows and things like that?
So just don't do it. Like at the end of the day, it's very hard to say just don't do it, and you're doing it anyway. But like you know how it'll affect you. But at the end of the day, the way you look isn't a massive thing. So there's 3 quotes that will go on later, and each different one will explain how to feel and how to think about it. So just don't it's hard to say just ignore it, but like, so for example, if I see a post on Instagram and there's like a topless guy who's got like 6-pack abs, I'll just scroll past it because I know how it'll affect me. But I'm 26 now, and it's took, for as long as I've been thinking about it, it took like 5 years to do that. So it's a very hard process. Surround yourself with friends who are giving you compliments, or giving you like the confidence to do that. It's a very tough one. I've got no like sound advice for that, if I'm honest.
No, that's fine. We've got loads of comments coming through, and guys, keep those comments coming through, because even if we don't have time to go through them right now, we can go through them at the end, and also talk about them even after the show finishes. And obviously Rhys can jump on and comment back to it, like all these comments as well. So do please keep these coming through. However, there are a few comments that have come through that I really do want to bring out right now while we've got the time, before we obviously get cracking on with the other half of your story. And these are from your family, and I think it's only right that I share these ones. Okay, so Nicole Thompson. Rhys, you're one brave, strong, amazing, and beautiful person ever. I'm so goddamn proud to call you my brother. Me and the family love and miss you. We've also got Dino. Smashed it and should hold your head high. Role model for many. if your nephews turn out half as good as you, I'll be proud. So there you go, Rhys. Keep that smile, Rhys. You're absolutely smashing it, and you are truly an inspiration for absolutely everybody. So I can see that you really, those comments have made you feel emotional. What are you feeling right now?
So open up. Like I rarely talk to my family about problems. I'll be the person, if anyone got a problem, they can come to me, and I'll be very verbal about that. I will take on your problems. I'm very happy to do that. But I don't take my own advice. So I won't go to someone for help, or I won't tell someone my problems, and especially my family, because I feel like I don't want to be a burden on them and things like that. It's just it's always nice to hear that. Like I 100% believe they support me through anything and absolutely everything. But yeah, it's always nice to hear, and yeah.
Good. So going back onto your story, so we're at a point where you've got all of these issues and things like that, and you touched on the when you were at uni, and people were noticing that not so good negative. There were some negative things about what you were doing, and they noticed a change in you, but not for the better. What were you going through at that point? Like, what was you doing? Obviously, feel comfortable with what you're talking about, but what were going through your mind at the moment, and how did they help you?
So I didn't realize I was going through bulimia or anything like that. It was completely oblivious to me. It wasn't until I was on placement and I was having a talk with this nurse. I don't know how it's come about, but we were talking about like body image, and she told me her side of suffering with bulimia, and I was like, everything she was saying, she wouldn't eat, she'd throw up. That's a common signs. But like, for example, I used to chew chewing gum, or my partner would say chuddy. I just use that to get me through a 13-hour shift and not eat, and just eat when I get home, and that worked. And she'd agree with me, and I was like, well, hang on a minute, what you were telling me sounds absolutely horrific. But then realizing, well, actually, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'd skip events with friends and things like that, because I just didn't want to eat. The thought of eating just made me feel sick in the first place. And again, the more compliments I got, the more it's just reinforced all that. So it's like, you can't give someone a negative comment, you can't give someone a positive comment, because you'll go either way, unfortunately. It's a very, very complicated illness, bulimia. I wouldn't say I was 100% bulimic. I wouldn't know what 100% bulimic is, to be fair. But like, my friends have said, oh, you look really, like, you've lost a lot of weight in a short amount of time, and it'd just be concerning for them, and they'd they'd try and get me to eat, and sometimes I just wouldn't, but sometimes I would. There'd be a pillar of support there if I ever needed them, or if I ever needed to go towards them. So just being there, and if I'm ready to reach out, I will reach out.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is what you've touched on then as well, is the comments that people can make. So people know firsthand, like, people will know firsthand that, when somebody starts looking good, you naturally want to kind of praise them on that. You naturally want to just go, oh, don't you look well? You look trim, or you can really see that you're losing weight. But then on the flip side of that, people call it banter, and they will say things like, oh, you're filling out, aren't you? Oh, that shirt looks a little bit tight, or little comments like that. And I want to kind of expand on what you think about people's comments and how people can overcome certain things, or being, putting it into people's minds about thinking before they speak.
So when my friends would say certain comments to me, it was in a joking matter, and I'd accepted that, but they didn't know how I'd take it. I wouldn't be verbal straight away and say that's really affected me, that comment, etc. I'd go home and then I'd think about it more then. So, for example, my friend would say, "Oh, you've got nurse's hips." I have no idea what that is, but I took it as a very negative comment. Um, he's one of my very close friends, and they don't realize how that much that affected me until I actually said that made me feel like this and like that. I think being rather than keeping it in and waiting until you go on your own and think about it more and more, confront them there and then. Just say this made it doesn't have to be nasty or anything like that. Just say this made me feel like this and like that. And then they know in the future, well, maybe I shouldn't do things like that. In terms of people you don't know, you can never control that. So like a work colleague, they made that comment about the tight uniform. They don't know how I'm going to take the comment, and they don't know me as a person. So things like that you can't really control. It'd be more yourself, like self-determination to not take that such negatively. Just think of the opposite. Oh, well, it was really nice for them to find me more uniform that maybe I couldn't got by myself, and they brought it up straight away. But I didn't think of that at that time. It was only my friend like Lee who would say that. Who would say, "Well, try to think about the opposite side of things." See that comment, look in the mirror every day and be proud of yourself. It's a very nice comment, but mirrors were my absolute enemy. I hated mirrors, absolutely hated them. It's just like it's very hard. It's such a hard thing to give advice about, really, because I'm just talking about my experience and how I dealt with it. At the moment, I'm in a very, very good place. I've got people who I can rely on for support. I've got a great partner who will give me all the confidence I need. And it's just like that. You just need constant reassurance, I guess. And it could be a bit tedious to people, but as long as it's a very selfish thing, I guess. As long as I'm getting this reassurance, the more better I feel, I guess.
I think talking about the comments that people can make, whether that be good or bad, I think realistically, people just need to be more mindful about the fact that we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what people may have been through. We don't, we need to start thinking before we speak. And even though, you may think of it yourself as a joke, the receiver of that comment may not take that as a joke, and that may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. That might be the comment that just does it for them, and that just takes them completely to the opposite side. But then realistically as well, looking at the flip side of it, on the positive comment sides, we've got to be mindful of the fact that we don't want, if somebody's suffering, as you said that you had done, where you were unhealthily losing weight and people were commenting on it, that's like a reinforcement of what you're doing is right, when in actual fact it's wrong. And we need to be mindful of that as well. Stephen made a comment just then as well. My personal trainer has helped massively, and obviously you've got a personal trainer as well that's been helping you as well. We've got to reach out to these people, PTs. We've got to reach out to people who deal with mental health, because it all revolves around mental health at the end of the day. We've got to be able to reach out to people and friends and our mentors, our life mentors, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, whoever. We need to reach out to these people, and we need to say that I have a problem. This is my problem. Please help me. And I think so. Nathan's watching from the show, and he was on a few weeks ago, and he said, like, one of the things that he said was just reach out. And I'd like to echo what Nathan said. You have to reach out. You have to feel like you can reach out, and you have to tell them, please help me.
I think that's the very, very hardest part. But I think that's the hardest part you'll ever take. And once you do take it, things get easier. You start realizing, oh, there's this there, that's available to me, that service or that support is available to me. And otherwise, you just be on your own. looking yourself in the mirror and putting yourself down, 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 and you don't know what the consequences of that will be. It's very sad, unfortunately, but a lot of people go through it than they'd like to admit, I think.
So one of the things, so there's a couple more things that I want to talk about, and then we'll go back into the comment section. So guys, keep those comments coming in. One of the things I want to talk about is the LGBTQ plus community and the toxicity that lies within there, because I think that a lot of people will know about the LGBTQ plus community, but a lot of people have misconceptions about what it's like being in there and obviously looking a certain type of way. And I want to kind of highlight it because I think it's something that needs to be highlighted. And a lot of people will brush over it or whatnot, and they don't realize actually how toxic being in the LGBTQ plus community actually is when it comes to body image. So what are your thoughts on that?
So I've experienced both different worlds, as you call it. So I've experienced the straight world and then also the gay world. So I find the gay world is a lot more harsher and focus more on physical attraction rather than personality. Like, don't get me wrong, you'll talk to people and they go, 100% personality first, don't really mind on looks. I think that's kind of, I don't like to say someone's lying, but it's a lie. Because don't get me wrong, I'll go for physical attraction. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. But however, in like the gay world, a good-looking gay would be skinny or have muscles, be toned, be tanned, and it's very hard to live up to that. But like all that that I've just said can be false because my partner is a very, very good-looking lad, and I count my I feel very lucky to be with him because I don't feel I'm like he hates it, but I would say like a league. So I think I'm out of his league. I think he's a lot more good looking than me. Do you know like what I'm trying to say? Like it's very looks orientated, and yeah, it can.
So Lee Jenkinson said LGBTQ community can be very harsh. An example of how people feel, they comment through social media anonymously to tell me I'm fat and disgusting, and it's true. And
it is.
Just to put things into perspective for those people who don't really know a lot about the LGBTQ plus community or what it's like, there are different types of gay man. Okay, I'm sure that there's
something going forever.
Yeah, I know. But there are different categories. There are so many different categories that you fall into all of these different boxes, and you need to make sure that you have ticked somebody's box essentially. Like it's not just a case of like, say for instance, in the straight world, you've got are they tall? Are they handsome? Have they got muscles? Have they got tattoos? Things like that. You've got all of that, but then you've also got the other categories like the twinks, the otters, the bears, the cubs. You've got all of those that you fall into that category of. So you not only got to fight this whole, am I tall? Am I handsome? Am I brunette? Am I a blonde? Am I got muscles? Have I got a six pack? Do I have hair? Do I not have hair? Do I have tattoos? Am I pierced? Do I listen to the correct type of music? You've got all of those things that are natural things that within the world that, you find people attractive and things like that. But you've also got all of these other categories. And people find it so hard to believe that there are these many different categories. And the worst thing that people do within the LGBTQ plus community is camp shame. It is camp shaming. The people who are a little bit more feminine, they're a little bit more, they're not masculine, if you will. For instance, like the drag community. So the drag community are they feel the brunt of this quite a lot because they are too feminine. But then, all of these gay people, they don't like they want the more masculine type. They want the straight acting. straight act. They want the straight acting. They don't want the feminine. So they don't even acknowledge them whatsoever. And if, for instance, like you look at people's profiles on dating websites and things like that, they'll say like they only want people who are straight acting, or they only want people who fit into this category, and they just completely disregard everybody else. So it is a very, very toxic environment, and it does nothing for people's body image and the way that they feel about themselves. What are your thoughts on that?
I 100% agree, especially in terms of the straight acting comment. People use it, and people, I think, will always use it, to be fair. I think our societal culture, I think it's a lot of labeling, and I think it's just a hard thing to get out of. It's there, it's stuck. People just continue to use it, unfortunately. However, that label can affect someone so much. I wouldn't know what label I am these days, to be fair. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't know what category I fall into.
I'm on TikTok at the moment, and how TikTok's algorithm works is that if you watch a certain type of thing or interact with a certain type of thing, videos, then they push more of that same type towards you, so you see more of them. And I saw, because I posted quite a lot of RuPaul's drag race stuff on there, I started getting a lot of that back. And there was a guy that commented saying, talking about camp shaming and why people do it and all this lot and all these categories. And my comment was, I think it's a very naive thing. And I think when you reach a certain age, it doesn't matter. I think it sounds shit to say, but I think it's when you get up to the age of 30 or just below 30, when you're like late 20s, early 30s, I would say, I think that all of that doesn't matter. I don't think you form an opinion on somebody because of the way that they look or the way that they act or whatever category. You just fall for someone because you fall for someone. And I think you only experience that later on. And I think it's these very earlier on years of, when you're first coming out and things like that. I think that's where the toxicity comes from the younger gays, all those young gays. But I think that's where it comes from. And I think when you are younger, you do have this ideal. And I do believe that when you get to a certain age, none of that matters anymore. And you find someone, you connect on a personal level where the whole personality thing comes into play and nothing else matters. And obviously you found yours, and you are now in a better place, and you feel like, you wasn't looking for someone with a specific criteria, and I'm sure that he wasn't looking for someone in a specific criteria. You just found each other. And
exactly that. Like, I wasn't looking for a relationship. It literally just smacked me in the face. And I'm like you said, I'm in a very, very happy place. I've got a great support network. I'm eating more meals than I would ever even dream to think I'd be eating. I've got a personal trainer who I can go to and think, well, this is putting me down, that's putting me down. He'll build me back up. I've got amazing family for support. But that's all because I reached out, though. If you don't reach out, then unfortunately, you won't get these people who will come running to you.
Yeah. Speaking of family, Nicole Thompson, Mum said she loves you and so proud of you, wishing she could cuddles you.
No.
There you go. Stephen Wilson, I am going to debate this with you, Stephen Wilson, when we see each other face to face. I even walk down the streets and see gays really camp and say, I'm glad I'm not like that. Is that wrong or right? I don't know. And I think that I believe that is wrong. I will go into detail with you, Stephen, when I see you next time, mister. We will talk about this in a lot more detail. But yeah, I believe that it's wrong. But we all have our own opinions and things like that. But I do think, and I wholeheartedly believe, that camp shaming is wrong and it's something that we shouldn't do. But we are here. That's a story for another episode, and we are talking about body image and body confidence and things like that. So, with that in mind, what would be your advice to someone? So, I want two different scenarios for you here. So what would be your advice to someone who is going through something like this. They're not really sure what they're going through. They just think what they're doing is fine. They have that crippling anxiety whenever they get told that they have to take the top off or whatnot. What would be your advice to that person?
I'd probably look at the reasons why I'm feeling all this anxiety, taking my top off. Think about why are you feeling the way you feel. I remember a lot of things that I did. I searched the internet and looked at people's like views or what they were going through and things like that. And if I could relate to them, then I think, oh well, maybe I'm going through the same thing. And then at that point, it's time to reach out, because you're not going to get through it by yourself. I would say it's actually 100% impossible. I was very independent, and I'd thought, I can do this all myself, and I went from one extreme to the other. It just doesn't work. You need people to help, and it's okay to reach out for help and just to get support from people, because that's what they're there for at the end of the day.
I think, yeah, you're definitely right with that. And what would be your advice to someone? So obviously you said that you went to both extremes whilst trying to do this on your own. And obviously there will be people out there on their own that are trying to do this on their own. What advice would you give to someone as a friend or a relative or something like that to help them spot the symptoms, I want to say, or spot the traits or things like that? What can they look out for, and how can they approach it?
I think in terms of eating disorders or something that's not the norm. So if you're not having 3 meals a day, then you'd be classed as that's not the norm. If you start recognizing irregular behaviors or different behaviors to what you used to do, then just take a second and think, well, why am I doing this? What's different? And as for me, so I've got a friend who's going through the exact same things that I was going through, but I will not force her to come talk to me. They've got to be ready, because otherwise it just won't work. And that's what my personal trainer have always said. If you're not ready to do this, then it's just your determination. It's just not going to work. So unfortunately, you might be waiting a while. You could be waiting a week. You could be waiting years. But as long as you're there and wait for them to feel confident or be ready enough to actually reach out to you, then just take that opportunity and just help them.
Definitely. Just be there for each other, and help them on their journey to self-discovery, if you will, to find out, what they've got to come to that realization, and you can be there for them. You can't force them to find it, because it's not available for them to see yet. It's ahead of the fog. You just got to kind of guide them through that fog, so then they come to that realization on their own.
Yeah, there'll always be a moment where you think something's not right here. This is not normal. Always a moment like that.
It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on today's show, Rhys. It's been, and I'm sure every single person, I'm sure every single person in the comments will agree that this episode has been absolutely amazing, and you've been an absolute amazing guest to have on the show as well. Is there anything that we have not covered that you want the opportunity to talk about now? Or have we covered everything?
I think we covered everything. I said all the thanks to my support network, and yeah.
Brilliant. So at the end of every episode, I give everybody the opportunity to give a quote, something that they stand by, live by, and something that people should take away from the episode. Now, normally what I do is I allow people to talk about that quote. But you decided that you were going to be a little bit complicated for me, didn't you? And rather than have the one quote, you decided to have 3. And I was like, oh, okay, let's try and choose them. Choose one of them out of the 3. However, I couldn't make a decision because all 3 quotes were really, really good, and they all had a different message. So, what are your quotes?
So the first one would be, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. So try proving yourself and see what happens. So like that is exactly it. So I've been literally criticizing the way I look for absolute years, and it's only been recently I've started to approve myself, and I'm in a much better place than I've ever been. And there's a lot to do with that quote.
Yeah. Stop criticizing the bad points about you and start praising the things that are actually good. And you'll naturally find that you are in a better place and that there are a lot more good things. If you focus on all the bad all the time, you're not going to get out of that. If you focus on the good things about you, the things that you do like, then you can build on them. And that's what makes you feel better. And that's what carries you through. What's your second quote?
Stop trying to fix your body. It was never broken.
Yeah. I love that one.
For me, I never saw that, but other people, they'd be like, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful. You think you're this, you're that," and it's a very true comment. You don't need to fix your body at the end of the day. It's not the only thing that people will see. They will see other aspects of you, and it's never broken in the first place.
Yeah.
For the religious people, God made you how you're supposed to be.
There you go. There you go. And what's your third quote?
Confidence will make you happier than any diet will.
There you go. I absolutely love that one. That one is my favorite one because confidence does make you feel better. And you know, you can diet all you want to. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be happy at the end of it. I think what's she called? Scarlett from Gogglebox, and she won I'm a Celebrity. Scarlett, whatever her name is, guys, put it in the comments. Whatever Scarlett's name is. So Moffat. Scarlett Moffat, that's the one. So Scarlett Moffat started losing weight, and she released a fitness DVD that she didn't really want to, but she released this fitness DVD and got even thinner. And she didn't like the person that she became. She became this different person. She didn't feel comfortable, and she didn't want to walk down these red carpet runways and things like that, wearing all of these fancy gowns and being able to fit into certain things and not being able to eat a certain type of way and whatnot. And so she put on the weight again. And she said, the reason I've done this is because I feel more confident with the size that I am, like the size that I am now. I don't want to lose all of this weight because it made me unhappy because I was continuously focused on I can't eat this and I can't eat that and I can't feel this type of way and I can't do this and I can't do that. You know, now I can be who I want to be and I get to do whatever I want to do. And I am confident and comfortable like this. And that quote there, confidence will make you happier than any diet ever did, just really, really, really rings true for exactly what she was talking about as well there. Well, Rhys, thank you so much for coming on the show. The comments are literally flying through as well. There is another one that I wanted to bring up as well from Lee Jenkinson, I think it was. Yeah, Lee Jenkinson. This could fit a whole episode. This is when we were talking about the LGBTQ plus community. So this could fit a whole episode. There's lots of issues in the LGBTQ community. Lee, I completely agree. And if you want to come on the show and you want to do a full episode on the LGBTQ plus community and how it is toxic and the problems and all of this sort, get in touch because I am more than happy to dealing with it on the show. Spilling it on the show. I would love to do it. Absolutely love to do it. So please get in touch if you want to. Lee, if you want to come on the show, then let me know, please, and we'll do an episode together about it all. But yeah, the comments are absolutely flooding through. Absolutely flooding through. There are far too. Look, there's so many to go through. It's absolutely amazing. So we've got Leela. Well done. Thank you for sharing your experience. You are a beautiful person. We've got Joe Lowe. This has been a powerful talk, Rhys. So many of us go through these things without realizing its seriousness until someone else speaks out. Proud to call you a teammate. Gina Bernal, Rhys, I've seen you struggling over the years of our friendship and you've done amazing. So proud of you. We've got Roxanne, love, I miss you, Rhys. Scott, I appreciate your time, buddy. There are so many. We've got a couple more to come through. Dino, smashed it, kid. Well done. Much love. Fuck the haters. We can swear on this show. It's uncensored. There you go. Fuck the haters. That's fine. Scott, to everyone, just keep being you. So yeah, it's great. A lot of good comments there. Right. That does take us to the end of the episode. How do you feel, Rhys?
A lot better.
Good. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, takes us to the end of the episode. I thank you so much for joining. Rhys, thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
being so open and honest with us all, and for sharing your story. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Next week's show, guys. So next week's show, we will be talking to Luke. Luke is an advocate of wilderness therapy, and he'll be coming on the show to talk about his experience in wilderness therapy and traveling around the Asian part of the world, like Thailand and places like that, and actually finding himself and all this being spiritualistic and all this stuff. It's going to be an absolutely fun-packed episode. I can't wait to have that one. Guys, this week is the last week that you can nominate your lockdown heroes. I'm pretty sure that after tonight's episode, there'll be a hell of a lot of nominations coming through for Rhys. But whoever has helped you through lockdown, whoever you consider your lockdown hero, all you have to do is get in touch with me, let me know. And at the start of November, because it takes me a month to buy all of the stuff, I will be presenting lockdown hero packages, like care packages and things like that, to these lockdown heroes. They'll have Spill It merchandise, they'll have loads of different, it'll basically be a big gift basket as a thank you for all of the hard work. So all you have to do is get in touch and nominate who you think should be a lockdown hero and tell me why. We've also got an amazing episode upcoming this month called Hush. This month, no, it's not, it's October. It's going to be an October episode called Hush. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Hush is an episode on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it was our first ever episode of Spill It. And we talked about Hush being an absolutely epic episode. And every single Halloween, I watch the episode of Hush. So what I'm going to be doing, I can have up to 10 people streaming live with me over Spill It. I want as many people as possible who are an avid fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who want to get in touch and will do a watch party with me to talk about Hush. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be watching Hush the night before the show, so on the Tuesday night, and on the Wednesday night, we'll be doing a deep dive into the episode of Hush. Absolutely epic. It's going to be amazing. And then the last one I've got a Halloween special coming on. So that will be on September. No, it won't be. It'll be on October the 31st when it's actually Halloween, not in September. On the 31st of October on Halloween night, we'll be watching all of those old school Halloween films like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, all of those lots. So if you are a horror movie fan of the old type, not the new ones, the old school ones, then get in touch because we'll be doing exactly the same as what we do with Hush. We'll be watching these horror films and doing a deep dive episode into these films, the way they were made, the characters, absolutely everything on the Halloween special. Costumes, you know, you can dress up if you want to. Why not? Let's all dress up. Not bad. Guys, if you liked this episode, if you enjoyed our time with Rhys and you want to catch up on more episodes, all you have to do is like and follow the page and you'll be able to catch up on all of our previous episodes, our previous 14, where did I get 18 from? Our previous 14 episodes. You'll be able to catch up on the previous 14 episodes, including this one. They all save, so you can go and watch them all. And all you have to do is follow the page. Like and follow, and don't forget to share it with your friends, guys. Let's get this community far and wide. It's a good thing we're doing here. So, loads more comments still coming through as well as we speak. Once again, thank you so much for coming on the show, Rhys. It has been amazing. And I'm sure everybody will agree as well. Guys, get those Lockdown Heroes nominations through for me. This week is your last week. Once again, Rhys, thank you. Guys, thank you for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And thank you again, Rhys. We will You're welcome. We'll see you all next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.